buenas tardes, buenas noches, donde quiera que se encuentren. Bienvenidos a Diagnóstico Social. El día de hoy tenemos un diálogo muy interesante con uno de los representantes de Food Heaven, una organización que está trabajando desde Gualaquiza, en el Ecuador, en la parte oriental del país. Hemos tratado de investigar un poquito sobre ellos, ya que su proyecto, que se llama en español Fruta del Paraíso, es muy interesante, es algo muy innovador, muy dinámico, y por ello hemos invitado a uno de sus representantes para tener este diálogo por Zoom. Así que, bueno, va a ser la entrevista en inglés, así que vamos a también traducir un poco de aquello. Así que, welcome Boris to our show, to Diagnóstico Social or Social Diagnosis. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Great.
Nice.
Boris, what you said? What do you want?
Oh, yeah, it's very nice to be on the show.
Thank you, thank you. We are in Quito. We do our program here in Ecuador, in Quito. We talk and discuss with different kind of people from around the world and from our country. We discuss in specific topics that are a little hard to understand to people. Topics that are not expressed in the media, in normal media, in TV or other kind of spaces to inform about different kind of things, scientific stuff, financial stuff. Maybe also we start talking about COVID last year, so then we just keep going and we already have actually, I guess, like 20 or 30 shows already. So where are you from?
Okay, so I was born in Belarus and I was a baby. My parents moved to Israel and there I grew up about 10 years. We lived there and then they moved to immigration. They immigrated to Canada. And I lived many years growing up there in school. And then I went to community college, like about technology. And then from there I traveled many countries. And eventually.
And then you came here. How old are you?
And now I'm 33.
33. So you're young. Yeah. Tell me, what are you doing in Ecuador, in Gualaquiza?
So I came here to join Fruit Haven because I found on the internet. For some years I was eating primarily fruits, and I was searching for communities in the world that have this idea where they live together, because it's kind of strange to most people. They like to eat many things, and I felt kind of different, that I like to eat fruits, and I wanted to connect with other people. So I found this community, and I came here first to volunteer, to work in the land, to grow the fruit. Then they have also an option to buy land here. And out of any country in the world, in Ecuador, it's much easier for foreigners to buy land. And so I decided that I would also join this community, and I bought a land and planted my fruits. And now I'm in the community area. So we have both communal spaces. So here it's a place that people come to volunteer and to rent the rooms, and also an option to buy land and build privately in their own farm.
What do you know about the country where your community is? What do you know about Ecuador and the situation of the country right now?
I see that generally the reaction to the situation in the world was better. So that's why I decided to stay here, and I feel safe in this part of Ecuador, where people here, they're more relaxed, both regarding the situation with the COVID, and also just in general. They're friendly people, and here they don't worry so much about the disease that, all these problems, because here there's a natural lifestyle. Even the people that are neighbors here, they're Shuar people. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they ask, like, oh, what do you think? What's this problem? And we say, well, we have a natural lifestyle, so we can stay healthy. So they listen as well. And now they're planting more fruit trees as well. So,
do you share information with the Shuar community right there, or they share with you information about how they grow or how they, I mean, the existence there, and do you have discussions, information channels of communications with them?
Yeah, we're close. We're very much surrounded with them as our neighbors on different sides of this area, and they're all throughout. They have reserve land, and yeah, so we also hire them, so they're working for us every day. We have probably around 10 or actually around 15, depending on the time of year, sometimes more, sometimes less. And so, yeah, many of them work for us, and others are just neighbors, or maybe they sell us fruit or things like that. So, and we exchange as well. So we teach them about fruits that they don't know about, and they plant it because the climate is very good here, but mostly the local people just eat usual fruits like the plantains, yucca, things like that. But we like special varieties that they don't know about. So now they're starting to grow them.
Right. Well, we heard, we actually have this interview right now because we heard some concerns with people in Gualaquiza. Gualaquiza is the closest big town to your community. And there is people, I mean, citizens who doesn't know too much about you. They doesn't know what is the work you're doing and what is your purpose there. So what can you tell them about what is Fruit Haven or Heaven? I'm sorry for my bad English though, but
yeah, no problem.
What is it? What are you doing right there? What is the purpose, and what is the future for you right there?
So yeah, our main purpose, basically, we just want to live in the nature and have like a lot of fruits growing and just producing a lot of fruit, special cultivars, special varieties of fruits that are very interesting, very delicious. That's our food. We eat fruits primarily, most of us. There's a big percentage of people here, like myself and other people, that eat maybe 90% just fruit, nothing else. No animal products, no grains, nothing, just fruit. And
Not milk, not milk
some,
industry or stuff like that,
exactly, yeah. No animal product of any kind. No fish, no rice, no potato. Even some people, they do eat some plants like potatoes and maybe like rice, things like that. But we do not eat grains as well, things that are
I didn't know that you
gluten.
didn't. I didn't know that your community doesn't use. I thought that you eat grains, cereals, but you don't do that.
Yeah, most people don't. There's some people where it's difficult for them to eat fruits in the beginning, the transition. So they also have some period where they eat some things like, yeah, potatoes or yuca or sweet potato or plantain, maybe things like that, that they have more starch. But another percent, I don't know, some maybe half, or I don't know how many people, there are different people that their diets, for example, my diet is primarily raw food. So I eat the fruits. They're the best raw food because they digest the easiest, and there's really amazing fruit that we can grow here, and the taste and the nutrition is so high and so great. Very high vibration, high frequency in this fruit is very alive, so I don't like to cook usually. Like most days, I probably about 90%, maybe one day in 1 month, maybe I might eat some kind of yuca or something like that, but very rarely for me. Other people, sometimes 1 day a week, or sometimes maybe one time even per day. It depends, maybe 2 times a week. So yeah, that's our goal. Our goal is to live on the most amazing fruits that we can grow. And this climate is excellent for growing really high quality, delicious fruits. And that's
Most
been our
of the
focus.
year.
Exactly.
You don't have full
So all the
winters.
year.
You don't have
Exactly.
you don't have a season where there is no rain, so you can have your fruit every year, every time, every day in the year, right?
Exactly. Yeah. All year long, we can grow bananas, papayas, and then throughout the year, there are different seasons for the different kinds of fruits. And we plant other fruits to become available in different parts of the year, so that all year there's some interesting fruit in season. And yeah, there's many varieties and things that grow here that local people don't know, or they just don't care, I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's one of the goals. And then also having our own land where we own it and we have the title. It's very special in the world. Some countries it's not possible to own land being a foreigner, and here it's also possible to have residency. So we do the residency and we buy the land, and so those are the main goals, to grow the food. Also vegetables like lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, things like that.
Great, great. Let's go to a commercial, to a first break, and then we return to keep talking about what you're doing right there, and how is it right now with the circumstances we got in the country, being in that part of the world and of this country. Let's have a commercials, and then we come back, right? Segundo bloque de Diagnóstico Social, estamos conversando con Boris de Fruit Heaven, quienes se encuentran localizados en Gualaquiza. Fruit Heaven es una comunidad autosustentable que recibe, que recoge personas de todo el mundo, voluntarios y también personas que quieren vivir ahí perennemente, que comen prácticamente solo frutas, y frutas que no son cocinadas. Por ejemplo, Boris nos estaba comentando que él prácticamente solo come frutas crudas, o se alimenta de cosas crudas que no son cocinadas. Entonces vamos a seguir con la conversación. So, Boris, how long you've been eating just raw food? How long you've been doing this?
Yeah, for this year, I think it's about 6 years that when I got the first idea that this is the way to live, to eat primarily fruits. I was not 6 years that I started, but I was not 100%, and I'm still also not 100%. But it was a transition for the first maybe months, 4 months, and then another year until I transitioned my body and I was able to really be satisfied from eating only fruit.
How's your health after this?
Yeah, it's excellent. I've had, after some transition, some being able to really adjust the body, because if you're used to a specific diet, the body is already used to eating different kinds of food, especially cooked things and grains and whatever. I think going to a vegan diet is probably easy enough because there's so many options. And then from there, going to fruit-based. So I was just increasing the amount of fruit that I was eating, and then reducing everything else, and eventually also doing some juice fast, and then it helps with the transition, detoxing.
Great. Do you know any other community like the one you have there, Fruit Haven? There is something like that, like this in other part of the world?
There is, yeah. When I was researching about it on the internet, I was just searching, and I found in Costa Rica there's some communities, and also in Hawaii. But this one I found the most interesting, and actually right here there's already one more community. So the one that originally started in this part and near Gualaquiza, there's one community. It's called Terra Frutis.
And yes, I found it in the internet too before this meeting, and I felt that even though there is in the cities in the country we having big struggles. I mean, we are. I don't want to translate to put you some bad feelings about what is happening in the country. I mean, about the cities, about the poverty, or maybe the lack of work and stuff like that it's happening in this country, but because I feel that maybe you don't have that stress that the rest of the citizens has in this country of almost 20 million people. But what it concerns me, what it seems to me pretty interesting is that I don't know if you are documenting all the work you're doing right there, because maybe the answers or the information you are researching or getting from your work, and maybe could help not just us, not just this country, but also maybe the world. Because I know that you are practicing in the in the process of your produce of food. You are not using chemicals. You are not using tools that maybe the rest of the farmers do. You are doing some kind of different farming. What are you doing right there, and what is the difference with it with the rest of the world?
Yeah, so that's a good point. We try to live as natural as possible and to grow the food that we eat, because it's the most important thing. What do we eat is making us healthy. So we found the methods that are most common is called permaculture. I think they started about, I don't know, maybe 50 years ago or more, some ideas about natural growing. And it's the differences between the permaculture and how conventional farmers, they're using the monoculture, which is one type where they'll just have, a plantation of just bananas. Well, we have a farm and it's very small and we want to grow a lot of fruits. So we don't have space. Yeah, so we do like a polyculture, a permaculture where it's permanent and it's got fruit trees, and between them there's bananas, and between that there's some other trees and other fruits, like just depending. The big trees are spaced further, and then between that there's like smaller ones like the bananas and papayas and things like that. They can fill up the space better, and they can also have a relationship with each other underground. The mycorrhizal, the different mycelium, fungus, and they all live together. So we plant companion plants like the ice cream bean, guava, or the flamingia, which is another leguminous, or Mexican sunflower, which we use for creating a better soil system. And that way, when we make the soil better in a natural way without using any chemicals, it's much healthier plants. They grow a little bit slower, but they're stronger, they're healthier, the fruit quality is better.
Great. How many people live in your community right now?
Yeah, the numbers fluctuate. I would have to count, but it's usually between 15 to 20 people. We have different structures. We have about 3 community areas here that have some structures on them, and there's more going to be built. And then there's about 10 houses that are private houses that are built part of the private lots. And so the people live on their private houses, or some of them live in the community area.
Right.
And then there's the community Terra Frutis, where they also have similar project. They have a bigger community area. They also have about, I don't know, they can host about 20 or 30 people. And they also have a festival where they have some people coming from different countries to visit. And
when is that? In what time?
In January, usually January 17, I think. Yeah, so it just happened last month. And so far it's happened about 4 years already. So I think next year as well. And they might do another festival.
Right now, you said that right now it's around 20 people in your community right now. How many land do you need with plants, with fruit plants, to give them food? I mean, it's a question I have, like, how sustainable is your community to show that 20 people, they can live with some kind of land? I mean, a number is, how do you know about it? One person, you, Boris, how many land need to be allowed?
From what we understand, I think Peter says, which is one of the founders, he said it's about, he says it's about 1 acre, 1 hectare between that, if it's managed really well. We have a lot of land, and some of it is good, flat and good soil. Others is steep and not such good soil, even though the climate is the same. In some areas, actually, we have different climates. So there's Fruit Haven 3 land, which is higher elevation. But right now we still have more work to do to be self-sustainable and really have totally living on our own food. Of course, with cooking, with things like yuca and plantains, we can definitely get there and live on only our food. But if we want to eat a lot of good quality raw fruits, then we have to wait a bit longer for more trees to fruit. It takes some trees between 3 and 10 years. So some of
It's
those we
true.
already have. Yeah. So the fruits that we get from, I think now this project is about 7 years. And a lot of fruits have started fruiting, but we're still waiting for others. And then, as we didn't know, like in the beginning, they didn't know about the techniques and didn't always have money to maintain the fruit trees. So even if, well, in the best condition, the fruit will give fruits in 10 years, but maybe in a medium condition, it will take longer. So we're still waiting.
So your goal right now is to, your challenge actually is to be sustainable. You are not getting that yet, but you are working in that. How long do you think it will take you, how many years more to be sustainable and maybe to be able to have a community that can grow and also be safe in health?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that we're still planting things. So even these we're planting things, that means that it's still another 3 to 10 years, depending on the fruit tree, if
Yeah.
it's maintained well. So I think every year we have more and more, and yeah, basically within the next like 5 years, we should start seeing like.
Right. Tenemos un poquito de... Boris, do you hear me? Hmm. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Signal is gone, so maybe I'm going to do another meeting if you can get in. So I'm gonna wait 5 seconds more, right? And then I want to make another meeting. Hey, you come back.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. We're back. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you were saying that you still going. I mean, growing. I mean, planting, and it's a continuous process. And
Yes.
know exactly when to end, but you still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, so we still have lots of new land that we're buying and planting more. And every year the fruit improves and gets better. So we have some fruit trees that are already older, but we're still planting more. And then the old fruit trees, we notice that their quality of fruit improves as they become older, as they mature. So maybe in the first 5 to 10 years of the tree's life, it can start producing, but maybe in the 10, 20, 30 years, then it's going to be even better. It depends on the tree. Some trees, I mean, papayas, they can only live for maybe about 5 or 10 years if they're really lucky. So for papaya, it's different, but for jackfruit and durian and black sapote and some other interesting like mame sapote, things like that.
Avocados, in the world,
Avocados,
they
yeah.
are really popular right now in the world, right?
Oh yeah, they've been popular for a long time. Yeah, we have. I mean, bananas are very fast to mature. They can fruit in 1 year, basically one and
Do
a
you
half.
know that this is the country that it's known and famously in the world because it's the first producer of bananas and plantains in the world? Do you know about it?
Yeah, I think it's in the top 3 or
Yeah,
something,
it's the
right?
first. Then
Number one.
in the coast, always in the coast of the country. Then it was the first producer of cacao. I mean, to make chocolate. One of
Oh
the
yeah.
is also one of the big ones too. But I came from a family who has experience. I mean, we got farms. My grandfather, my father has farms in the coast of bananas, actually,
Yeah.
for many years. Right now, nobody does the same thing anymore. But I came from that kind of people, and we were farmers. But what I'm saying, what I want to tell you is, we have to face a lot of problems with the bugs, with the eel in plants, because we just grow one thing, and after a while there always come an illness for the plants, and we have to use a lot of chemicals, and there's a lot of problems about it. Now, after many years, we know that causes cancers and stuff, illness to the people and to the workers that work, that manipulate the chemicals still. But how is for you that thing? Before we go into the commercial, how do you face the illness of the plants? If you face that kind of problems, challenges, and you are using some chemicals, or you actually doesn't do any kind of industrial products to your growth?
Well, we noticed, yeah, sometimes there are some bugs that can attack the plant or the fruit. So we have a few different strategies. Mainly, we improve the soil as much as we can, and that helps the plant become stronger. And then if there's still problems, we can try natural solutions. So for example, there is a special formula the government of Ecuador gives. It's chili, garlic. So it's like ají, jengibre, and like all kinds of things that are very strong, and we spray that. So it's a natural solution that's made from plants, and we spray it on the fruit, and it tends to help. And then we also look at other options and see if one type of fruit doesn't produce so well in this climate, like there's actually a problem here with coconuts. So we don't really plant so many, and also mangoes, they don't produce so much. So then we focus on fruits that will give better quantity and quality. So for example, jackfruit, which is not very popular in Ecuador, maybe you heard of it. Sometimes they call it yaca. But yeah, maybe you can check for a picture of it, you can show or something. And actually, I have one I can show.
Yeah, well, I knew the plant from US. Jackfruit, it's really popular in Asia. Yeah, it's huge. I know. That's
So yeah, that's not from our land, but that's from some other farm. But we want to produce a lot of these. So we have a couple of trees, and there's Terra frutis has got a lot of trees, and they produce really well. So
right. So well, we are going to the second block, finishing, and we're going to a commercial right now. Bienvenidos al tercer y último bloque de Diagnóstico Social. El día de hoy estamos hablando con los chicos de Fruit Haven. Tenemos a Boris que nos está dando información, nos está conversando, comentando cómo es el trabajo de la comunidad que ellos están manejando ya varios años, 7 años exactamente en el Ecuador. Han comprado tierras, han creado sus granjas, y están aprendiendo y están descubriendo. Entonces queremos saber un poco más sobre eso en este momento. So, Boris, you are doing science where you are right now. As a investigator, as the one that I am, and I like to discover new things to put in books, or maybe in documentaries, or maybe in my work, or tell people about something new. That's something that I really like. And I hearing you, and I saw the work you have done in internet with documentaries and interviews and stuff like that. And I really believe that you have a lot of new information. You got a lot of things that you are finding by yourself. I mean, working in progress. So are you documenting this? Are you having, do you have some kind of files about this? Do you think about I don't know, to publish something in the future? How is the thing? What is Peter says about it? I don't know.
Yeah, right now we're mostly following advice that actually we get from other people. And then if we find some new things, mainly on YouTube, we discover some things, and there's different forums on the internet where people that are into permaculture and natural growing. So there's actually a community or different communities even on the internet. And we share, exchange the information. And if we discover some new ideas, then yeah, we will share it. And I don't think we have enough for making a book necessarily, but we have published, I could also look at that as well, is not published really, but more just printed for showing people. For example, when people come here to visit, we show them what kind of fruits we have. We also have it a digital format, a PDF, so they can see what can we grow in this climate and what's the fruits look like in photos, because maybe it's not always in season or whatever, maybe it's not even fruiting yet. So we'll know in the future what was the taste like of this fruit, and how does it like to grow, because many people that come here, they buy the land and then they want to know what can they grow, how can they plant it, how can they maintain this. And also we have the workers that we hire, the local people, so we provide jobs for them, and then they make our job easier. Like we want to plant it, then they can help us. They're nice and strong people. They're very friendly and they're happy to earn money. And they've been growing up here all their life, so they already used to walking around in the jungle.
You also you have to get some food from outside of your community, right?
Yes, we buy fruits from the markets, local people, and that's also where it becomes interesting, because we're happy that they're going to be growing this fruit, so we give them seeds, and we also sell plants. We have plants sometimes that they might be purchasing, because we have a small nursery, vivero. They like the idea of having other fruits, because then that can give them also more income. They can sell this fruit, or they can consume it themselves and have a good way of sustaining nutrition, because normally if they primarily eat things like yuca and plantain, it might have lack of some minerals and vitamins, where fruits like this, it's very sustaining. It has a lot of liquid and vitamins and minerals, and and it has a lot of calories, and so it's much healthier to eat this than
it's huge.
yuca
and it's huge.
And this is a small one. There are better, bigger ones even. So
exactly. How's your relationship with the community, with the local leaders, with the police, with the politicals, with the politicians, with the mayor? Did you have any problems? Do you have any concerns, or maybe your relationship with them? It's really nice. It's really good. There is no any problem right now. You never had any complication in your community with the locals. Well, how is it going?
Yeah, the local people. Well, in terms of the local people that live here, like we're all good neighbors and friends with them. So we exchange work and plants and knowledge, and we learn from them as well, because there's a lot of things we don't know about plants coming from many different countries. People didn't know about them.
You should have a class of Spanish then, there for your.
We have like English lessons and Spanish lessons for us, and English lessons for them, and so we have exchanges. Yeah, and in terms of politicians, no, we don't really get involved. Yeah, I guess we try to. I think Peter's working on some stuff regarding like the regulations and things that were happening. So he had some things that he was gonna do with some lawyers, but generally we just use the cities. We only go there for some legal documentation regarding notary, like buying land, purchase, and things like that. Otherwise, yeah, it's just buying construction materials and buying fruits. That's our main use of the cities. We're about 40 minutes or so from Gualaquisa, and we're also close to El Pungi, is about 20 minutes.
Yes. The electricity you have, do you produce it, or you have connections with the local electricity system? How is the thing with the water and the electricity? Are you? I saw in the documentary that maybe some tourists, some people that lives in your community for a while, actually women, they feel not comfortable at the beginning, and I'm concerned if it's just because of the bugs or there, or it's because there is no, I mean, water, I mean, safe water, or maybe electricity. How is it?
Yeah, so the power, the electricity we get for this community house, Fruit Haven one where I am now, is from the grid. So the local people here, they have a company that comes through and provides electricity near the river. So River Big Zamora here. But for other houses, they're further. There's a lot of private houses, and all of them, they're getting the solar panels, and that's been a nice way to generate electricity in a more sustainable way.
Yes.
In terms of the water, we get all our water. There's a lot of rain in this area, and we have some streams, and so we have water intake that comes from a clean stream. And of course, there's also waterfalls. That's a great way to get a shower. That's
You got the better water in the world. I mean, I'm sure that the most expensive water I can get in a market right now is not enough good as the one that you are taking in that waterfall.
very fresh and very nice.
Anytime you want it. I believe probably. So it's amazing.
Sustainable. It doesn't use any power, so we just have it from the gravity. It comes, and we have enough pressure to put into the pool because it goes a few hundred, maybe 200 meters or so up high, or actually no less than that, maybe 100 meters, something like that.
Really. Well, there's a lot of technology that can be used right now to have help in communities like yours. I mean, to produce electricity and stuff like that, more efficient and more sustainable ways and technology. So tell me a little bit about your personal achievements in this kind of living. I mean, you are not missing your family. You don't missing the way of the city is, the huge cities. I know that you come from Belarus and you're in different kind of parts of the world where, you know, there is a lot of technology, a lot of big cities. Are you having what you dream?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the technology here. Like I have the internet. It's going to become fiber optic in the next maybe month or so. For now, we have like a dish, and I'm doing the live stream. I'm able to call my parents every weekend on my phone or on the computer, whatever. And yeah, I have a computer that's new that recently some people came and brought. So it's easy for us to get electronics from Gualaquista or Alpangi. If we can get some stuff from other countries, it's better. Usually the prices are better, but I think in the future, Ecuador will lower their taxes. So we'll have better quality things here too. In terms of, living, I just like to be in the nature. Yeah, it's much more peaceful. So I used to live, in kind of suburban area near the big city in Toronto. And then when I started traveling, I saw that I'm more drawn to going out to the countryside and visiting more nature places. I visited like many countries, maybe about 20 countries. And in the cities, it's always very polluted and stressful, and I would only spend as minimum time. Dangerous as well, that's true. But it's also bad for, breathing and the pollution and the noise. And so I always wanted to go to the further to like beaches or some places that are more relaxed and nice.
So in your community, there is not need for a psychologist or for a psychiatrist. I mean, you don't have maybe your kind of life is a therapy. It's not what we need right now in the cities or in the countries where there is a lot of problems on cities and stuff happening around. And our kind of life is really fast. We cannot really enjoy while we are just working and working and working, right? So what you can tell to the people in Ecuador to know that your community? Maybe you have a lot of good publicity in different parts of the world. Maybe there's people that send you letters from different parts of the world, but I think maybe you can have the chance to show, I mean, to invite, to have the invitation for people from locals. I mean, not maybe from Guadalquivir, but from Quito, from Guayaquil, people that can be in your place for about 15 days or a month or maybe more, or longer periods of time. But what would you offer to the Ecuadorians that wish to have the experience you have? What they can get and how they can get it?
Yeah, well, we're not set up exactly like tourism place. We try to be more for people that are interested in this lifestyle, because I think there's already many places that are similar. But in general, if someone is interested in raw food, vegan especially, in like detoxing and living in a healthy lifestyle in nature, even more interesting, yeah, if they want to live with us permanently, if they want to buy land, for short visits, if they want, they can come and check out the area, like the waterfalls we have. And what else do we have here? Well, there's some caves in the area. We can visit some nature places. Of course, we can teach if they want to grow things on how our techniques for permaculture.
I'm sorry, someone can be there for a day, for 3 days, for a week, or they actually, to be in the whole experience, they should be at least 3 months to be living with you in the community. How?
In general, we prefer long-term visits, but yeah, if somebody wants to come for a short time, they can visit us as well. But generally, we look for people like long-term members, because we don't have like a lot of rooms at this point. So we want to reserve those for people that are wanting to live
Longer period of time.
Yeah, especially buying land. In the future, we probably will have more accommodation, and we can have maybe like a hostel or some camping options. We also have that if people are interested to like do more camping and like that kind of stuff. But in this area, there's a lot of tourism places as well. There's many waterfalls, and so I definitely recommend. And so if they already come in this area, then definitely come visit us. And especially if they're interested to learn about eating raw food, or even just vegan in a more clean way. So we don't use, for example, oil or bread, things like that. So even though those are plants, but we choose not to eat those because of the effects that they have on the body. So things like oil and wheat as well. The gluten is known to cause problems with the body.
What about the wine and the alcohol? You don't use that?
Generally, we prefer to stay more clean lifestyle, but once in a while, if somebody wants, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a fruit, but it's just fermented, so it has some negative effects because of the alcohol parts. But
like, to me, the wine and the beer is something that I use a lot. Some beer when it's hot, or a cup of wine when I'm working. And well, what is the future for you guys? How do you see the work and the things that you are, achieve? And what do you think it's going to be in the next few years? Do you think it's sustainable? Do you think you will keep being in there? You're not going to live to Canada. You're not going to return. Peter is not going to go back to I believe he's from Washington State, I guess. I don't remember well.
Connecticut, I think. Connecticut. But yeah, they're
Connecticut. Yeah. He's from the north of New Jersey. But exactly, what do you see? How do you see the future for you?
Yeah, I think the future here is that we're going to keep expanding, getting more people that will buy the lands and to build their food forests, and others that live together with us in the community. And you mentioned about psychiatrists or psychologists or something where, we don't need that in order to relax. It's very easy to find peace here, but it's also interesting living in community. We're exploring different ways, like we're having community meetings, and I find very useful the nonviolent communication, which is a special system of expressing needs and feelings in a way that's peaceful and kind of empathy, like to understand.
In 7 years,
Because
you didn't have those problems, struggles between people in your community. You
yeah,
don't face.
there's always some kind of conflicts and things, but usually we find a way to resolve them. You know, everyone has different ideas about what is clean, what is good, you know, and then living in the same place for a long time, we're going to have different standards and different ideas of how things should be. And so yeah, it's been very interesting to see. But then other people, they just live on their personal lots, and they just decide everything on their house. And then sometimes they might visit the community. We'll have some events, activities, like people are doing different exercise, martial arts, things like that. And then we have workshops teaching how to do the culture and how to plant fruit trees and maintain them, and the space and all kinds of stuff, the soil, how to maintain.
Great, yeah. Great. Thank you, Boris, for your time. Thank you for teaching us how is the life in Fruit Haven. We wish that you guys have a great future, that you can achieve all the challenges. I mean, the goals you decide to put in your life. I welcome you as Ecuadorian also, that you are part of this country right now. I hope that you can, in the way you live in, you can teach the rest of the country also that there is options to live and to have a sustainable living, you know. And one last question I have in mind that I wish to ask you. Is there in your community a space for families, or everybody is single? Because I believe you don't have children in between you.
Well, we had some families visiting at some time. Yeah, there's one house that was built with a child, and then that family, they went back to the US and they sold it to another family that also has given birth there in that house. And so, yeah, we had the children. I think at this time, having a smaller amount of people, it's difficult for people with children. So they also left at this time, and they put up that house for sale. But what I think is that maybe it will require some families right away, like maybe 2 or 3 to come in the same time, because when there's one family with a child, it kind of puts the rest, you know, it's difficult for other people to relate to them. But if there's many at once, and then they can have like a little kindergarten and maybe like a little school, you know, then it will become like our own family oriented. But yeah, definitely we want that. We're looking forward to have more of that, because yeah, kind of like fruit trees are making, they're birthing more fruit trees, and so we want to have more
the chance.
People here as well.
Great. It's great to hear that. Well, I hope that this information helps to connect also with the colleges, with the universities, because maybe there could be between of you community and with the community of the colleges and the universities in the country, because they can learn from you, and you can receive help from them too. I mean, I believe there are many things that they can be, I mean, get better working together, as like in the area of the producing electricity, or the use or the process of the use of water, stuff like that. Maybe there are many things that can be work and can be done. I hope that the universities that will watch this will learn a lot about it. And I believe that there's many people that work hard in this country to help to save the animals. I mean, the rainforest and the animals in the area. So I believe that if we have a better practice in the process of producing food, maybe that land will be better for them, for the local animals. That I don't know if you saw one, if you saw monkeys or any kind of animal from the area, you know. But I think you can live in the way you're living there. Maybe there won't be any problem with them, right?
Yeah, definitely. We like to see there's lots of different kinds of animals and insects and birds, and I haven't seen a monkey, but when I was visiting some place far away up in the mountain here, the worker said he saw it, and he told me, "Oh, look, I didn't see it at that time." So they do exist in this area. There's just not many of them, and we're kind of happy that we don't have to deal with them because probably they would want to eat our fruits. So
Yeah,
it's
being you
better.
there, like the angels, I believe they will keep moving and seeing that you are friendly. Maybe they are in the mountains because, you know, many people for centuries trying to eat them.
That's right. Yeah.
Left. I hope they return. So thank you so much for this time, and
Thank you as well.
I
And I
think
agree. Very interesting to see some universities they can help us, and I think in the future we would have a lot more research and kind of like our own maybe university where we learn about the
fine.
best way to produce fruits and yeah, to grow them and eat them. And
Great, great. I will send this program when it will be ready to you guys. I hope you can watch it, and thank you so much for your time, Boris.
oh, and if you want, yeah, you can include the links like
Yes, yes. You
fruithaven.org.
have to send us. I mean, in my WhatsApp,
Okay,
we have connection right now. Send me all the information you want to put in the video.
great.
So I will tell the editors to put it too. So we will be glad to do it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Great.
Great.